Set the scene. 4,000 degree. I ain't worried about different things over there, but they worry about me. What's happening? Um, Game of Thrones, season 4, episode 7, Mockingbird. So, let me just start out. I knew it was about to happen. I knew it. So, with the way they set it up, they set it up to make you think, or at least for me. Now, by no means am I trying to say that I know, that I have Game of Thrones figured out, because clearly I don't. But she slaps the little boy, right? Which he needed to be slapped. And then Peter, Littlefinger punk ass, he's starting to creep me out. He comes along and he kisses her. On some creepy, I loved your mother, so I want to kiss you type shit. Like, for real. And then he said, then we see her auntie in the back looking down like, So TT hot, you already know it. So then when you see the scene opens, the next scene opens with Catelyn's sister near the, what they call it, the big ass hole in the thing, which her son was just talking about, and the reason her son and Sansa got in a fight. So Sansa walks through the door, and as she started walking toward her auntie, I was like, oh, the little boy is going to come out of nowhere and push her down. So then so that did happen, and now she's standing directly to her auntie. But then the way they do it is that the camera angle shows that Sansa is kind of like standing behind her auntie. So now I'm thinking, oh shit, Sansa's about to push her into this hole. And then that doesn't happen. Then the auntie tries to, make her look down, and I ain't really believe that. And then when Peter came out, I was like, oh, he's going to push her. He's going to push her. Now, the little boy could have came out and pushed Peter down there. You know what I mean? But then he said, there's only one woman I loved. I was like, yep, he about to push her. Foosh. So, thought you had me, didn't you, Game of Thronesers? Anyway, Oberyn wants to help Tyrion escape. He basically told this gut-wrenching story about how he's met Tyrion right after he was just born, and they told him the story about it, about him and how Tyrion was this little freak. And then once they saw him, all they saw was a baby, And, and the commentary there is, they called Tyrion a freak, said he had a tail, claws, And here they are, this proper family, this proper and powerful family, with incest running all up and through it, casting judgment on everybody else. And the very people that they would call freaky, because Oberyn and them, they freaking everybody over there, right? They're the more, you know what? I can't even say that they're more humane. Yeah, anyway, yeah, that's interesting. They are, in a way, more humane, right? The other family, they're just realists. People in power want to keep power. You know what I mean? But Oberyn wants revenge, either way it goes. So he's going to be Tyrion's champion. Oh, but Peter Dinklage's face, man. Just, man. As an actor, man, you got to be loving this, man. His performance. So Jamie came in. It opened with it. He was like, man, I had you, man, you killed yourself, talking about, like, I told you to shut up at the trial, So anyway, he told him who was gonna fight. He was like, "Yo, go get my dude who fights for me." And Tyrion is kind of learning. Okay, so the dude comes back and he's basically saying, "Yo, you my friend and all." He was like, "I've enjoyed it, but you don't really have the means to pay me, and I got money already. I'm not about to risk my life fighting this huge dude, like for real. I love you and all." And Tyrion was like, "Aren't you my friend though?" And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "But when have you ever risked your life for me?" So Tyrion is kind of learning sort of the same lesson that Jaime learned before his hand got cut off. It's like, I have my family to back up on, and the Lannister always pays his debts, but at the same time, you haven't been the type of friend to others that you need right now, And I thought that was an interesting, little commentary. Jon is trying to tell people that the Night's Watch, they ain't ready for what's about to happen, and the dude that doesn't like him has influence on everybody else who has a decision, so they're not listening to him. Bust down, Khaleesiana. I want to see you bust down. So, dude came to, first of all, I'm not comfortable with all this objectification going on with men in this show. We're not pieces of meat, you know what I mean? And to depict a woman character, in all her glory and goddessness and her Khaleesi-ness, just, even though she didn't call the dude to her room, you know what I'm saying? You can't just have us the way you want us all the time. Like, we got feelings, And, I don't always appreciate the way men are objectified in the show. So that's just something I just threw out there for you. And anyway, the dude, her Khaleesi's counsel didn't like he didn't like seeing that dude up there, because of course I'm talking about old Paul Walker, may rest in peace, but you know what I'm saying, he loves Khaleesi, so he didn't want to see some dude leaving out on a walk of shame type tip, because he wants to tap too. He wants more than to tap, he wants to be hers forever, I think. And he basically told her, he was like, "Listen, Khaleesi, I know you want to kill all these slaves." And she was like, "And I will. I mean, these slave masters." He was like, "But I sold slaves, and I wouldn't be here now if Ned Stark hadn't showed me mercy. So consider that, Brienne and Podrick gets a clue, not on Sansa, but about Arya, from the little chubby dude that Arya used to hang with. The Red Lady had a cold line. She said, "Men never crave what they already have." She was like, "Don't worry, it's just flesh. Ladies, remember that next time your man might have an indiscretion, it's just flesh. I don't love them. I didn't share no secrets with them. Okay? It happened." Shit, right, fellas? Hey. Yeah. So, Arya got killed, number 5. She poked the dude who said he was gonna rape her. Pokey. And, let's see. They killed the dude and put him out of his misery. And they had this whole conversation with, at least Arya and the man, that he was sitting there bleeding. And they were just like, what's, is it worth it? He was like, "I guess something's better than nothing." Arya was like, "Well, nah, something ain't necessarily better than nothing. Nothing is just nothing." It could be confusing, but it was just like, yo, if you don't have anything, you about to die. What's the use of sitting here and bleeding out? And Hound eventually stabbed him up. But, I mean, overall, I understand that. It's like, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees type of deal. But it's like, man, these are my last seconds of life. Like, let me enjoy this shit. You know what I mean? To me. So I didn't necessarily agree with the Hound and Arya, but I understand why they did it. Anyway, the dude was pretty appreciative of it as well. And anyway, Arya and Hound, they got like a friendship now. And he finally opened up about how his brother smashed his, burned his face because he caught him playing with his Game Boy or some shit. So anyway, that's about it. I know we went kind of long today, But, you know, thank y'all for rocking with me. It's interesting seeing which videos get the most amount and what videos get the most amount of views versus, and I think it has to do when I share them in other posts, because I'm doing this on YouTube as well. So when I share them in other posts, those numbers go up. It's really interesting seeing how, you know, I'm playing with times to see, you know, I'm also doing this to try to learn how things work, you know, as a content creator. Anyway, that's some inside baseball, man. Love y'all, man. Thanks a lot for checking me out. David Ashley, I'm out of here.